it's not just gonna get a black audience either. You know, I think everybody's serious, and the reason why it's not a Marvel Disney day, because he went to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was only student was that he would let him own the film. Mm-hmm. He owns this film.
Yep.
This is a original screenplay. All this is his. So that was a power move too.
Usually when a director hands a studio a billion-dollar franchise, they get a blank check for their next movie, a VIP black card to do whatever they want.
Usually, but when Ryan Coogler walked into pitch meetings with Sinners, some of the biggest studios in the world looked at a guaranteed hit from a proven hit maker and left him on red.
But why? Are they allergic to money?
Well, I think it had something to do with the other part of Coogler's deal. Coogler understood if the piper plays the right tune, he can name his price. And instead of some lame damn director fee, he wanted the whole parade.
Today, we are breaking down the exact blueprint that legacy studios used to muzzle the breakthrough success of Sinners, and how this decision changed the future of the film industry. But what's so bad about making the most popular movie of the year? Isn't that good?
To understand why the entire industry turned on one of its most bankable directors, you better get wise to the game. For a century, the golden rule of studio systems has been absolute. The distributor keeps the copyright in perpetuity. That means forever.
Forever? They want to own your gains for life.
Exactly. The general public looks at opening weekend box office numbers, but executives look at the library. The library is how studios survive downturn. It allows them to license movies to streamers, sell merchandise, and reboot franchises 30 years later. It's a century-old monopoly on generational wealth. In the traditional model, a director might get a massive upfront check, but they are ultimately just a day laborer, building a castle they will never be allowed to live in.
It's like paying a premium gym membership for your whole life, setting all the records, and the owner gets to keep your trophies and charge people to look at them. But Coogler wasn't having it. He didn't just walk in asking for a bigger slice of the pie. He brought a sledgehammer to the bakery.
The inciting incident happened in early 2024. Coogler shopped Sinners to major studios. He had Michael B. Jordan attached and had independent financing from Domain Entertainment already locked in to cover half the budget, meaning he stripped the studios of their financial leverage before he even sat down. And then he dropped the bomb. 3 non-negotiable demands: first dollar gross, final cut, and full copyright ownership reverting to his family 25 years after release.
Wow, he wrapped that movie up tighter than a gordita. All they had to do was front their side, and they had a near guaranteed upside for decades. But this shows you how important the long game is. These major studios, faced with historic low theater turnout and film revenue, needed a guaranteed hit. It is exactly what we talked about in our video on how Tron is a literal recession indicator. The entire industry is flashing economic warning signs, and these executives are desperate for cash flow. Yet, they walked away as soon as Ryan said revert ownership. They left tens of millions of dollars sitting right there because they were terrified of giving a creator ownership. They'd rather take an L today than give up the IP tomorrow.
Warner Brothers eventually broke ranks and accepted the terms. But the moment the ink dried, the rest of the ecosystem attacked like an antibody attacking a virus, trying to grind up Coogler's movie before word got out about the new creator-centered business model.
So, here comes the sabotage. Phase 1, the smear campaign. Rival executives ran crying to the trade magazines. They were dropping anonymous quotes, calling the deal an existential threat and a dangerous precedent. They were terrified. If Coogler proved you could own your own IP, every big director would want the same deal. They were trying to paint him as reckless when all he did was secure the bag and the deed.
Phase 2 was weaponized skepticism. When Warner Brothers released Sinners on Easter weekend in 2025, it overperformed massively. It debuted at $48 million domestically, and eventually pulled in over $365 million worldwide. Yet industry-aligned publications immediately published articles casting unwarranted doubt on its long-term profitability. The narrative spin was so aggressively negative that prominent celebrities had to publicly call out the trades for actively trying to kill a new film's chances of success. Shout out to Spike Lee and Ben Stiller, among others, for standing on business.
Phase 3 was straight up disrespect. Prestige blackout. The movie gets an A cinema score. Rotten Tomatoes is glowing. The audience is eating it up. But when award season rolls around, the industry tastemakers practically pretend it doesn't exist. Major publications left it out of their year-end best films list. People were calling it a whitelash because the movie unapologetically focused on black culture, Southern Gothic themes, and the establishment was salty they didn't own it.
Which brings us to the final phase, amplifying the noise. The Hollywood press is exceptional at hyped up controversy. When an indie filmmaker named Billy Sherrod claimed Sinners plagiarized his script, Bloody Freaks, the industry allowed those allegations to breathe heavily in the media cycle. While Coogler maintained his inspirations were rooted elsewhere, the ecosystem used the friction to cast a shadow over what should have been an unchallenged victory lap.
But guess what? It didn't work. They tried to throw every weight plate in the gym at this dude, and he just squatted the whole rack. Coogler walked away with a massive hit, a pile of cash, and oh yeah, his first Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay.
Coogler's victory is a paradigm shift. He demonstrated that the distributor is no longer the only boss in the equation. The creator is the franchise. By using outside funding and standing firm on his demands, he mapped out a workable route for artists to build their own independent, scalable media businesses. The studios tried to kill the momentum of Sinners because they knew it was the blueprint for their own irrelevance.
If you like this, check out our video on the Backrooms.
Protect your ass, sets, and remember, keep moving with the movies.